Devin Nunes, thank you so much for sitting down with me. You were the first person to really raise a lot of these red flags about the Russia collusion hoax. You know, you came out and said all of these things, and then what was the reaction that you got? Give us a little reminder.
So they started to target President Trump and his campaign in early 2016. And then after the election, President Trump wins, we were briefed by the FBI and the intelligence agencies after the election on election interference. And you know what the answer was? There was none. The presidential daily brief said exactly what Congress had been told just a couple weeks before. And then they went on this escapade to create this intelligence assessment that then led to the Russia hoax that mired President Trump's first administration. That led to the Mueller investigation, which went on forever. Same people that were involved in the fake whistleblower issue that still is out there. And then it goes all the way to the raid at Mar-a-Lago.
So as a congressman and as chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, you received a briefing just after the election saying there was no collusion with Russia. And then there's a very famous video of you coming out and talking about the fact that you believe that there was manufactured information. What led you to come out and actually talk about it? Because I think a lot of people would have just said, oh, well, we're just going to kind of look the other way. But you were very strong on that.
It came to my attention that, well, wait a second, because there were what appeared to be illegal leaks of classified information. But those leaks didn't make much sense because they always tied Trump to Russia somehow, which we had not seen any of that intelligence. So when I found out that when I reviewed a lot of those documents and I went to my committee in Congress, went to the Speaker of the House and said, look, the president needs to know about this. So I went over to the White House and said, look, I don't know where they're getting this information, but clearly it's illegal, clearly it's leaking. And then I went out to the White House and presented that to the press. But what happened, as you probably remember, they turned on me and said that I was doing something illegal. And so we had to fight through all that. It took, crazy ethics investigation. So, this is what the president asked me to chair his intelligence board. And, we're here to clean this up to make sure it doesn't happen again.
So many of these people were dragged through the mud. A lot of them ended up going bankrupt or having their lives ruined, their reputations ruined by this. You must feel vindicated in so much of what has finally come out.
The poster child for this is Carter Page.